is 30th of November 2023. My name is Okikiola Kosim. Good morning. And you are welcome to today's newspaper review, coming to you from our station. We are broadcasting live from Nigerian Labour House here in Central Business District, Abuja. You are welcome. And let's start with Punch newspaper this morning. Ayedatiwa returns to Ondo, heads ESCO meeting today. The Ondo State's Deputy Governor, Mr. Lucky Ayedatiwa, returned to the state on Wednesday following last Friday's meeting with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Abuja. The president meets with stakeholders in the states and All Progressive Congress over the political crisis rocking the state. You can get the more details of that news coming to you from Punch newspaper this morning. Federal government orders Chevron to end dispute with host communities. The federal government has ordered Chevron Nigeria Limited to resolve the dispute between the oil firm and communities within the company's Warri exploration and production area in Delta State over the composition of naming of the host community trust fund. It also urged both parties in the dispute to maintain the peace pending the resolution of the matter, stressing that it was determined to ensure that the fit of proper things was done immediately. Get the details of that news coming to you from Punch newspaper this morning. FCTA defends 61 billion naira supplementary budget, laments 800 court cases. The Federal Capital Territory Minister, Nyesom Wike, on Wednesday explained his decision to engage Senior Advocate of Nigeria to handle 800 litigation involving the administration, lamenting that lack of diligent prosecution of cases in the past by FCT official led to loss of numerous cases. You can get the details of that news coming to you from Punch newspaper this morning. 50 foreigners, others arrested for job racketeering. The Nigerian army said it has arrested 50 suspects, including foreigners, for alleged international job racketeering in Lagos. The Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Onyema Nwanshuku, who addressed journalists in Abuja on Wednesday, said the suspects were arrested during an operation jointly conducted by the Nigerian Army and the Nigeria Immigration Service. You can get the details of that news coming to you from Punch newspaper this morning. CBN reforms opportunities for investment bankers. The immediate past president of the Association of Issuing Houses of Nigeria, Ike Chioke, said the ongoing current reform of the Central Bank of Nigeria have presented both challenges and opportunities for the investment banking industry. In a statement on Monday, Chioke said this during the Investment Banking Award Night held in Lagos recently. You can get the details of that news coming to you from Punch newspaper this morning. Ex-U.S. Secretary of State Henry Kissinger dies at 100. Henry Kissinger, the former U.S. Secretary of the State, whose unapologetic promotion of raw American power helped shape the post-World War II, died Wednesday. His consulting firm said it was 100. You can get the details of that news coming to you from Punch newspaper this morning. moving straight to Nation newspaper this morning. Federal government unveils sectorial allocations in 2024 budget. The federal government yesterday highlighted the sectorial allocation in the 2024 budget after its presentation by the President. Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, said defense and security will get 3.25 trillion naira, constituting 12% of the budget. You can get the details of that news coming to you from the Nation newspaper this morning. Momentous occasion as Tinubu signs first budget. It was a momentous occasion as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu presented the 2024 budget estimate to the joint section of the National Assembly on Wednesday. This is especially against the backdrop that it was his first budget and a former member of the National Assembly was returning as Commander-in-Chief. You can get the details of that news coming to you from the Nation newspaper this morning. Defense, education, health top Tinubu's 27.5 trillion budget. Human capital development, poverty reduction, infrastructure are priorities. Pensions, proposed wage raise push up deficit to 9.1 trillion naira. Defense, human capital development, healthcare and education are priorities in the 27.5 trillion federal budget estimate for 2024. The president presented his first budget estimate. Christine budgets renew hope, which is predicated on an exchange rate of 750 naira to $1 and oil benchmark of $77.96 per barrel and oil production estimate of 1.78 million barrel per day. You can get the details of that news coming to you from the Nation newspaper this morning. old new naira notes remain legal tender indefinitely. The Supreme Court yesterday laid to rest anxiety over the lifespan of the old 200, 500 and 1000 naira notes. It granted the federal government's request to allow the bill circulate indefinitely. You can get details of this news coming to you from The Nation newspaper this morning. Court to Humanitarian Affairs Minister explain 535.8 million naira school feeding spending. A federal high court in Abuja has ordered the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Dr. Betta Edu, to release details of how 535.8 million naira was expended on feeding of school children during COVID-19 lockdown. You can get the details of that news coming to you from The Nation newspaper this morning. Moving on to Daily Trust newspaper this morning. INEC office invaded in Kogi as APC SDP trade blames. The office of the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC in Lokoja, Kogi State capital, on Wednesday came under a siege by a mob that took the intervention of the Nigerian Army to disperse. The State Resident Electoral Commission, Dr. Hale Gabriel Longpet, in a statement said the INEC state headquarters in Lokoja was besieged Wednesday morning by a mob that barricaded all entrances to the office and prevent officials access to carry out their routine duties. Get the details of that news coming to you from Daily Trust this morning. International Day of Solidarity with Palestinians. UN reiterates two-state solution. The United Nations has urged the international community to progress towards a two-state solution for the Israel-Palestine conflict, emphasizing that Jerusalem be the capital of both states. You can get the details of that news coming to you from Daily Trust this morning. Bauchi Assembly gets new speaker. Bauchi State of Assembly has elected Babayo Muhammad as its new Speaker of the House. The Assembly equally elected Ahmad Abdullahi as the new Deputy Speaker. This followed the nullification of the election of the former Speaker Abubakar Y. Sulaiman and his Speaker Jamilu Umar Dahiru by the Court of Appeal in Abuja, which ordered a rerun of some polling units in their constituencies. Get the details of that news coming to you from Daily Trust this morning. NDCC owed over 2 trillion naira, MD tells reps. The managing director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDCC, Dr. Sam Ogbuku, has informed the House of Representatives Committee on NDCC that the agency is owed over 2 trillion naira. He said the amount represents 15% of the allocation of the 9 states that make up the Niger Delta region since 2000, which has never been paid. You can get the details of that news coming to you from Daily Trust newspaper this morning. And it's time for us now to bring in our in-house analyst and public affairs commentator is a seasoned journalist and media consultant, Mr. Salman Salam. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, the presenter and our super citizen listeners. Good morning.
let's start with the presentation of 2024 budget that was presented by the president to the Joint House of Representatives and the Senate yesterday. What's your take? As some of the newspaper reported that it was a momentous occasion for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Thank you very much, the presenter. Yes, it was a very, very momentous occasion. Not for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a person, but for Nigeria as a country. Presentation of budget is an annual ritual, quote and unquote. But this presentation that was done yesterday by Mr. President was unique in several ways. One is the first budget to be prepared and to be presented by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Secondly, it is a budget that is presented by a former lawmaker. Don't let us forget that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was a senator, a distinguished senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And more importantly, the budget addressed the critical issues affecting this country. Defense, that is security, education, human capital development, and health, which is wealth. Other areas too are not left out. This shows that we now have a government that is sensitive to the yearnings of all Nigerians. Our prayer is that this budget will not just be like any other budget that is sound and good in theory, but that we translate into food and improvement in the welfare and well-being of Nigerians.
Moving on to Ondo State now. Ayedatiwa returns to Ondo and heads ESCO meeting today. What's your take on this, sir?
Well, the Ondo debacle, for that is what it is like we said earlier in the week, that what is unfolding in Ondo State, the political situation is unfortunate. It is really unfortunate. But the deputy governor should know that the important thing in life is to ensure that one renders selfless service and make life impactful. Let us know, all of us, that power belongs to God. God gives power to whosoever, and He takes away power from whosoever. Why we wish Governor Rotimi Akeredolu a good health and a very speedy recovery, we will admonish the deputy governor to know that in everything, God first. The fear of God is very important. And secondly, the interest, the welfare, and the well-being of all the people of Ondo State should be paramount. That should be central to whatever he's going to do. And we will plead with the supporters of the factions, because there are two factions now. The deputy governor's supporters and factions who, as it were, will now be thinking that it is now time for us to chop, quote and unquote. But then, what is the essence of holding public office? I want to believe that it is more in rendering selfless service to the people. And if it is so, one should be circumspect, and one should even be crying inside, knowing fully well that uneasy lies the head that wears the crown, and knowing also that we are going to account for all our deeds on earth. Leadership is a big responsibility. Let us look at it that way, and not as an avenue for personal aggrandizement.
Mr. Salami, if I may still take you on that, what is in all of this for the Ondo State citizen? In all of this, what is in for them?
Well, what ordinarily should be in for them is that they should look forward to seeing and having a government that will deliver, as promised, that will deliver the dividends of democracy, the bountiful dividends of democracy to the people. And that is what people are looking forward to seeing. Nothing else. They are expecting delivery. They are expecting the government to deliver and to meet their aspirations, yearnings and aspirations, with a view to uplifting the welfare and well-being of the people. Nothing less. That is the expectation of the people, and that is what I am praying that they will get from the deputy governor, who from today will assume office.
Okay, now let's quickly move to Supreme Court. Yesterday, laid to rest the anxiety surrounding the lifespan of old notes and the new redesigned notes. What's your take on this?
Well, what can somebody say than to now begin to give kudos to this government? It's just that human memory is very short, and I would hate to say that human beings are seasonal thinkers. Seasonal thinkers in that we forget too soon so many things. Nigerians went through a very harrowing experience during the Naira redesignation. Money was scarce. In fact, we were buying money and it was not there to buy. Now, this government approached the Supreme Court that gave December as the deadline before, that please, we are approaching you with a view to pleading that kindly extend the lifespan of the old note so that both the old and the new note will remain legal tenders. And the Supreme Court, legal tender I mean to say, and the Supreme Court has graciously pronounced that both the old and the new Naira notes are legal tender, and they are indefinitely. This is a relief. This is a big relief. Remembering what we went through. It is a very, very big relief, and we thank this government for being a sensitive government, for being a listening government, for being truly the government of the people, the government that cares for the people, the government that has the welfare and well-being of Nigerians as their priority. I think this is how it should be. This is just how it should be. And ordinarily, we should take good governance for granted. We thank God that in our lifetime, we are now seeing something close to it. We just pray that it will not be a mirage.
Okay, let's quickly move to Kogi. Kogi State, where the INEC said the local headquarters of the INEC was besieged on Wednesday morning by a mob that barricaded all the entrances of the offices. What is your take on this?
This is a sad commentary. It is a very sad commentary. I think we should have passed this stage in our democratic journey. I think the mob, who are the mob? They are not ghosts. They are human beings. They are political jobbers. I have been telling our people that they should not allow themselves to be used by politicians. Any politician that is displeased, who is displeased with the outcome of an election, should know what to do. The recourse should be to the court of law. Compile your evidence, all the documents relating to the election. Get it ready. Get an erudite lawyer who knows the law and who knows how to present a good case in such a manner that you will get justice. Why am I saying this? It's one thing to think that you have a good case. It's another thing for your lawyer to bungle your case. The position of the law is this: the court will not give you what you did not ask for. And the court is not a Father Christmas. The court is not the court of emotion. It's not the court of sentiment. It's not the court of blackmail. It's not the court of mob action. It's the court of law. And it will adjudicate or preside over any case brought before it based on the evidence adduced before it. Nothing more. No amount of blackmail, no amount of stampede, no amount of denigration, no amount of armchair journalism will change what the court will do, in the sense that the court will apply the law and not the sentiment. It will not pander to the whims and caprices of blackmailers. The court will do justice, and we have a free and independent judiciary in this country.
Okay, our super listeners, it's time for you to join us on this program. You can call these numbers: 0903 2229 797, 0818 2222 0818 2222206. These are the numbers you can call to be part of this program. And quickly, sir, let me take you to still on the Court of Humanitarian Affairs. Court to Humanitarian Affairs, and ask them to come and account for 535.8 million naira school feeding spending. What is your take on this?
Yes, it is a good development because an organization, NGO or so, applied to the court. The court will listen to any application provided it's not a frivolous application. And for court calling the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs to account for 535.8 million feeding, that money that is meant for feeding that was spent allegedly on feeding, to account for it is the way to go.
During the COVID-19?
Yes, that is the way to go. It is called accountability because the money is public money, is taxpayers' money, it's not their money. And it behoves on them to give account of how public fund is spent. It must be spent judiciously, transparently, and you must account for every kobo because it's not your money. You are just spending it on trust. You are holding it on trust, in trust for people, and you must account. It's called transparency and accountability. It is very important in public life.
Yes, you can still join this program by calling 0903 2229797, 0818 2222205, 0818 You can be part of this program and your contribution will also count. Quickly, sir, let's move to FCTA that defend 61 billion naira supplementary budget and lament over 800 cases in the court. What is your take on this?
Well, the Honorable Minister of Federal Capital Territory, right, former Governor Nyesom Wike, said that he will hire senior advocates of Nigeria to handle those cases. Why? Because in the past there was there was lack of diligent prosecution, and he will now hire senior advocates. We all know what it means to hire a senior advocate, and I want to believe there are lawyers in the employ of the FCTA administration. What are they doing? Are they not being paid? You see, public fund is public trust. Civil servants should hand their pay. I want to believe that if the lawyers in the employ of the FCTA are doing their job, there will be no need to hire senior advocates of Nigeria. Hiring senior advocates of Nigeria means millions of naira going down the drain again. Public taxpayers' money. What of the lawyers there? What are they doing? Well, let us keep our fingers crossed and see how it's.
Based on what you are saying, now let me quickly draw you to this statement. The minister said, he said, "I have never seen a territory with over 800 litigation. Some of these court cases were in connivance with staff of the FCTA."
Well, if it was in connivance,
in connivance
with the staff, that's a sad one, and it should take it up. We are still saying the same thing, that the civil servants should just know that they are there to serve the people, and they should serve the people well. A situation whereby they connive to get favorable judgment, and the FCTA will now have to pay, it is not a good thing. Let us be God-fearing. Let's be God-fearing. Let us deliver quality service with the fear of God. We thank God that the new man now is a visionary person. He has a track record. Say what you want about Nyesom Wike, you cannot accuse him of incompetence. No. He's a performer. He has a track record. Nigerians know. And that's why most residents of Abuja believe that, yes, a new sheriff has come to town, and Abuja will be given a facelift.
Let's quickly move to US now. The ex-US Secretary of the State, Henry Kissinger, dies at 100. What is your take on this? What do you have to say?
Henry Kissinger lived a very, very useful and impactful life. He lived well, he lived long, he died well. May so rest in peace.
Let's quickly move to Bauchi State Assembly, as they have new speaker now. What is your take on this?
Well, quite many states are now having new speakers. Due to Nasarawa State, I think, and it is due to court order. You see, what I have been saying is this. It is good and fine if the judgment of the court is favorable to a political party. It is not so if it goes against them. This is not the way to go. The court does not know APC. The court does not know PDP. The court does not know LP. The court knows the law, the application of the law, and you can always get a favorable judgment if you present a good case and you adduce cognate evidence to buttress or to support your case. The court does not know any political party. The court is not partisan. Let us have confidence in the court being the hope, the last hope of the common man. It is. The Nigerian judiciary is one of the best in the world. Don't let us desecrate our judiciary. It's an institution that we should behold. And the judges who are ministers in the temple of justice should be respected. They are human beings too. They should be respected. We should not blackmail them. We should not intimidate them. We should respect them and the work they are doing for this country. It is not easy. It is just not easy. Don't let us bring down this fine edifice.
Okay, quickly, let's move to NDDC, who over 2 trillion naira since 2000. Since year 2000, what do you have to say about this?
Well, the MD came to the House of Representatives to tell them that the federal government is owing them over 3 trillion. It could be. And if it is so, the government should look into it. But then, the one they have been given, how have they been spending it? I want the states, oil producing states, the states captured in the NDDC Act, to hold the management accountable. They should account, and what is on ground should match the allocation. They should not see it as just another way of siphoning money or their own share of the national cake. It's meant for something. They should use it for what it's meant for. And what is that? To cushion the hardship in the oil producing region. The common man there are suffering. I've been to Port Harcourt, I've been to Yenagoa, I've been to Delta State. I know that the people, the host communities where the oil exploration is taking place, they are suffering. They are really suffering. I pray that those in charge of our common patrimony, those in charge of our destiny, will fear God and deliver on their promise.
Okay, still on oil region and FD order Chevron and to end dispute with host communities. Quickly, what's your take on this?
Chevron is a multinational oil company, and they should know that the goodness of the tree is the goodness of the bird. A situation whereby the host community will not even benefit from what God has deposited at their backyard is not the way to go. They should, for lasting peace to reign, they should be at peace with the host communities so that there won't be oil stoppages, there won't be stoppages, and the production will go seamlessly. And what is fear is fear. I keep on saying it. Everybody's asking for freedom. Let them ask for justice as well. It's when there is justice. It's when we love our neighbors as ourselves. It's when we give to others what we will want for ourselves that we can have a lasting peace. And we need peace in this country.
Yes, we need peace in this country. That's the much we can take on today's newspaper review. We want to thank our super citizen listeners for being with us. We thank you so much. And I want to thank Mr. Salman Salami for always being there. Tomorrow is another day when we'll be bringing you another edition of this program. My name is Okikiola Kosin. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.